Hi everyone! Happy holiday season! What better way to end the year than for me to show you guys my iPad work setup that I've built over the years working as a full-time digital artist and content creator. I'll be sharing my iPad accessories as well as how I set up my iPad for desktop work and then my filming gear and a quick rundown on the apps that I use on a daily basis for work such as commissions and my digital shop. I hope this in-depth look into my art space inspires you to build your own going into the new year and making your own cozy creative space. The core of this setup is my standing desk, which I bought in 2022, which has drastically improved my physical health for long drawing hours. Before we get to accessories, the iPad Pro that I use is the 12.9-inch M1 2021 Wi-Fi 16GB 1TB model. For accessories, I want to start with my favorite iPad board stand that I've been using and has been making drawing for long hours such a good experience. Three things that I love about this is one, how light it is, second, how compact it is with its folding legs that actually fits this IKEA drawer, all coincidences with its design as well, and finally, the multiple angles it has that gives you multiple comfortable drawing positions as well as a desktop looking setup. The two pen slots also fit the Apple Pencil even when it has a case. A very important feature of this stand is the hollow back. And the reason for that is because as I continue to use the iPad for long hours, I experience it heating up. And I realized that this back actually gives me the opportunity to attach my cooling fan. Yes, I use a mobile cooling fan for this because most of the time I have to continue using the iPad even while it's charging or it's heating up a bit. And this setup is definitely helping it not overheat and allows me to continue working. For my Apple Pencil, I prefer it having silicone case because I don't want it too bulky, but I also don't want to use the Apple Pencil as thin as it is. This also helps me make sure that it doesn't easily slip off my table or even my hands. Another favorite accessory of mine that has been getting asked a lot in my social media are these game pads from 8BitDo, specifically the 8BitDo Micro. I love it so much that I bought all available color options because it was such a game changer for me when it comes to shortcut keys. Not only that, but it also works on both Apple and Android devices. It's really easy to set up. You only need this app, Ultimate Software from 8BitDo, and then after that, just connect it and make sure that it's in K mode, which means keyboard. After that, you just need to sync the particular gamepad device you're using, and as you can see here in the menu, you can now start creating multiple profiles for different apps that you want to use this on. As you can see, I've already created profiles for the apps that I consistently use. For the keyboard shortcuts of the apps, you can check that out in their specific websites since they usually put it there. I never thought that using a gamepad for editing videos could be so much fun. It feels like I'm using a remote as I do this, and it's really entertaining to see. Just remember, as long as the app has keyboard shortcuts, it's compatible. The Magic Trackpad is one of the more expensive accessories that I have. I actually bought this secondhand, so I got it for a cheaper price. And the reason for this is because I use a MacBook Pro, and as I'm used to the gestures of the trackpad, as you can see, it works just as seamlessly on the iPad Pro. So this is a good investment for me because I edit all my videos on the iPad. As for my keyboard collection, as you can see, I only have one mechanical keyboard because I'm actually lazy when it comes to changing keycaps, so it's not really my thing. But one of the things that I do love to find are these affordable ones that have unique designs from one another so that they're pretty distinct. So as you can see, I just love it. Even the other two on the right side, I actually bought the different color variations just because I really love the design. Now it's time for my iPad desktop setup where I use Stage Manager, a feature that's only available in M series iPads. In order to use this, you need to use a USB-C to HDMI adapter. As for me, I prefer to use Apple's multi-AV adapter because it already has the multiple connectivities that I need. By default, the monitor is gonna project in mirror mode, but as I've already set it up, it automatically goes into Stage Manager. As you can see here, it's very much similar to the MacBook OS system. To set this up, you just have to go to Settings and Multitasking and Gestures. As you can see here in External Display tab, Stage Manager is already turned on. Normally, it's on screen mirroring, which looks like this. Here's a feature in Procreate that you can use in mirroring mode, which is called Project Canvas. As you can see here, you'll be able to view the full piece as you continue zooming in and out while drawing. Now you just need to switch to Stage Manager to get the iPad desktop experience. And just like any external display, you get to choose the arrangement between where the iPad and the monitor connects. This is a way for you to know the direction that your mouse is going to switch between the monitor and the iPad. Personal preference, my arrangement is usually like this because my monitor is right above my iPad. I usually use this mode for bigger multitasking activities such as editing videos because look at this, it looks better when it's bigger. And then of course, the ability to be able to open at least 4 apps at the same time. Do remember though that not all apps are compatible with this, but so far I've noticed that a lot of them already are. This is also a great way to separate your screen with your references while you draw on the iPad. Stage Manager is actually the final feature that made me realize that I can do all my work solely on the iPad. And coming from someone who's been an iPad user since the first gen, this is mind-blowing to me. This setup is also perfect for when you're taking classes, which is perfect for this video sponsor, Skillshare. As the largest online learning community, Skillshare has thousands of classes ranging from beginner to expert with different areas such as film, illustration, design, animation, music, business, and so much more. These classes are taught by industry professionals and experts that can help bring your career, skills, passion, hobbies, or side hustles to the next level. My goal for 2025 is to improve my character design skills, which definitely includes anatomy, gesture, and most of all, outfit design. These are all available in Skillshare with its diverse set of illustration classes that you can learn from depending on what you want to focus on. Right now, I'm focusing on outfit illustration, so I'm browsing through fashion illustration as well as pattern design. This is my setup whenever I take my classes on Skillshare. I have it on the side in a bigger window so that I can watch the lesson simultaneously as I gather references right beside it and practice those learnings. If you're not sure where to start with the classes, don't worry, as Skillshare has designed learning paths to help you choose classes that will take you from beginner to expert level. Here's how I use learning paths here. I type illustration and I see pattern design learning paths. I open it up and it has recommended classes that are grouped together and arranged by difficulty. Join me so we can improve our skills by clicking the description below. The first 500 people to use my link will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. And now it's time to go back to my desk and let's talk about my content creation gear. Starting with my iPhones because I'm pretty good at taking care of my phones that it lasts me really long. This is my preferred camera for my process videos because I don't have to worry about the battery, the length of the shot that's being filmed. I've already filmed multiple 1 hour plus clips here and it really works out for me because I do get in the zone of drawing or animating that I forget that the camera is still rolling. As most of my clips are pretty long, ease of transfer using AirDrop is really convenient because I edit the videos on the iPad. I admit that once you get into the Apple ecosystem, it's gonna be hard for you to get out of it because all devices work seamlessly with one another. Just like this Apple Watch Series 3 that still works on my iPhone 14 Pro Max can become a viewfinder for the harder to see angles that I take with my phone. This year, I did invest on my first ever camera that's not a phone, and that is the Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo. My biggest reason for this is that it makes me feel less conscious filming myself in public because of its small size with a small viewfinder. I filmed myself outside before filming on my iPhone, and as much confidence as I did gain from it, I do prefer this smaller, subtle camera. Here are some of the mobile phone holders that I use in order to get to those angles that I have while filming my videos. These can actually fit tablets, but as you can see, this is how I put my phone on them, and it works. I'll put the links of these accessories below, and if I can't find them, I'll put something that's similar to them. Something to note with desk accessories like these is to make sure that your desk isn't wobbly, because no matter how sturdy these are, it'll still affect the shot if your desk wobbles. And of course, a tripod. This is my favorite tripod because the legs are rather thick and long, which helps keep the tripod stable. It already has a clamp to hold on to my phone, as well as the option to put an actual camera or even my Osmo Pocket. My only worry with this is that sometimes my chair does hit it because it's pretty near me, so yeah. Now for my recording equipment, of course I have the DJI that came with the creator combo, and I have these wireless Boya mics that's convenient for my iPhone, especially with ASMR videos. And finally, my main microphone for voiceovers such as this. I'm using the HyperX Quadcast S, which is USB, and I can use this on both iPhone and the iPad using their respective adapters. A simple feature that I love about this mic is the RGB lights, where it's easy to indicate if the mic is recording or not. It also has 4 options that can change the direction from which it picks up sound. I'm also able to connect my headphones so that I can monitor myself while recording. And finally, a more efficient way to adjust the recording volume. And that's everything that I use for my content creation, both for filming and recording. Now, it's time for me to show you guys a quick rundown of the apps that I use the most on the iPad. Starting with the art apps, my main drawing app is Procreate, and it is one-time payment. My alternative iPad drawing app is Fresco, while on Android, it's Ibis Paint. My main animation apps is Procreate Dreams and Calipeg, and they're both one-time payment. I created my first pixel art ever using Pixsquare, and it's now my preferred drawing app for pixel art. I'm still new with 3D art, but if I'm gonna get started on it, it's gonna be on Nomad Sculpt. For the graphics in my digital shop, I use Canva because it's just easier for me to use the existing templates that I've already used in previous listings. Files app is where I back up all my files as well as utilize the iCloud storage capabilities so that I'm able to access my iCloud files on my iPhone and the iPad just in case I need to send files to clients or upload something to my shop. Notion is where I keep track of all my commissions, from payment status all the way from progress, as well as the details of each commission. In terms of planning, I use Freeform as my brainstorming board as well as my reference board. As you can see here, the best thing about it is that it can actually play back GIFs with ease. And here, this is a good example. This is how I used a reference of the axolotl GIFtuber that I created on Procreate Dreams. For video editing, I use 2 apps. The first is VLLO, where I edit all my long-form videos in YouTube, and the reason for this is the multiple assets and design that it has. It does have limited effects, but I don't really need that. What I need the most here is the ease of use in cutting clips, as well as replacing GIFs, images, without breaking its position, which in CapCut happens. This is also where I do the layout of my commission posting whenever I release a new idea or YCH. And finally, the free version of CapCut. So far, it works for me. I don't mind the limits. The effects are good enough for me. And this is where my loop animations thrive the most in post-production because I'm able to add all these additional fun animations of text as well as special effects. And that covers all the apps I use the most for my work as a full-time artist. Now I'm showing you the rest of the stuff on my desk, and I decided to do it in night mode because it does shine brightly with all the RGB lights I have on here. And I rarely film at night, so it's an unusual sight that I post online. Starting from the left, this is where I put my Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm using to record this right now, a little fake plant, as well as cute chibi chains of my favorite Danwa, Heaven's Official Blessing. I also have a 30-ounce tumbler, always ready to hydrate myself. I also have a book nook here. This is actually an adjustable book and book holder, but I'm keeping it compact with just a few books within my reach. I change the books here from time to time depending on what I want to focus on at the moment. Right now it's character design, so as you can see, there's anatomy, clothing, hair, and a fashion illustration book. It even has some pocket for pens, which is nice because it's hidden in the background. This year, I finally found the plant that I can take care of, which is the lucky plant. So I have two sets of these, one on the left and another on the right side. I also have a small image of Mama Mary here, as I always have by my side, as inspired and taught by my mother. The best thing about an evening setup is, of course, the lighting, the night lamps, and all those cute things. And this is definitely one of them. One of my most favorite is this RGB bulb. It's nice to be able to control the ambient light depending on the mood that you're feeling in a particular evening. Now this is where I put my mic for the moment, but I do intend to buy an arm for it next year. Moving on to my IKEA drawer where I just put the extra accessories that I have. Oh, this is also where I keep within my reach my 3DS XL that I bought this year. Now showing one of my favorite gifted collaboration desk accessories, the Divoom Timeskate. This is a dream accessory for someone like me that creates animated emotes and GIFs, because look at this, it's so fun and there's just so many things I want to put on here. I can go on with this, but let's move on. So I have a Apple Pencil holder here, as well as two cute options for my wrist pad, and just a little accent accessories going around in my desk. Oh, this one is also a pretty fun gifted collab from Energized Lab, which is ALIC. Another lighting, which is a dimmable aesthetic lamp from IKEA. And this is the other lucky plant that I was talking about. And no need to ask what this tablet right here is. This is my Samsung Tab Ultra S9. This is from a collaboration with Samsung last year, and I'm keeping it because this is what I'm gonna use for my future Android tutorials. Here's a little peek at latte spot under my desk while I work. And you might be thinking, why is your chair like that? This is my dad's chair. This means more to me than any other chair that's beautiful out there, because there's a lot of memories that come with this chair. I've seen him work on this chair, sleep on this chair, and have long conversations with me sitting on this chair. I actually don't consider my setup aesthetic. Instead, I sort of see it as more efficient because the stuff that I need is within reach, and the reason that I don't have too much figures or decorations on it is because I actually get pretty distracted when I see those things, so I usually just surround them or put them around in my space so that I can avoid myself from getting distracted and playing with them. Now I'm getting ready to go out and just showing you guys what I pack in my backpack whenever I want to work outside, like in a cafe. Quick rundown, I have both USB-C and lightning cords. I also have a power brick, an extra power bank just in case the place doesn't have any outlets. I also have, of course, my favorite 8-bit dough gamepad, and I have a very light foldable keyboard, and finally my iPad using a Zugu case. Now that I'm ready to go, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this tour of my workspace and inspired you as well for your own. Happy holiday season again, and may your Christmas be merry, as I will see you on the next video. Bye!